Bringing the group chat back. Look at your eyebrows. Kitchen remodel. Do you buy it? Because, by the way, if anyone's remodeled their kitchen, I haven't, but I have friends who've had, and they're still traumatized. Okay, it's a lot of pain.
Exactly. It feels more like taking your old house and then just ripping it all the way down to the studs and rebuilding it and trying to do that. And doing it with less money.
What do you make of the way Langford was explaining it? Because, what is that messaging?
I think that messaging is, he's like blinking in Morse code. Please do not actually do these tariffs. I think there's a lot of terror, and you can see the Wall Street Journal had a great story about this, where the automakers had this meeting with Donald Trump in which he basically said, make sure you keep your prices low. So when he says he doesn't care about prices, I think he does, but it's in contradiction.
It's not my gig to fix that. That's what they need to do.
It's what he's trying to say.
Okay, I know, Stephen, you have talked about whiplash, the uncertainty. What do you make of this general approach? Because I know the markets don't like it, because they just don't like not knowing what's going to happen. But how do you see this moment and him calling it Liberation Day and the way he's trying to talk about it?
You know, the damage that's being done is almost as much being done because no one knows what's going to happen. Trump says one day we're going to have reciprocal tariffs on everybody. The next day he says I'm going to let some countries off. That level of uncertainty hurts the markets. But more fundamentally, so there's nothing wrong, and it's quite laudable, the fact that the president is trying to respond to these areas of the country that were hollowed out by globalization. The question is the way to do that to recreate the economy of the 1950s a quarter of the way into the 21st century, when the economy is now not based on manufacturing, it's based on services, it's based on AI. Perhaps you use tariffs to promote AI industries
of the future. All right, now you're getting ahead of where they are, though, because they're still talking manufacturing. Stephen brings up globalization, which I think for Democrats, like, the legacy of that lives on, right, in angry constituencies.
Yeah, and absolutely there's a need for the industrial center of the country to get the support that it has to have to reindustrialize, to get the investments working for the workers there. But this is chaos. This is uncertainty. I'm thinking about it as let them eat cake day on April 2nd rather than Liberation Day. President Trump was not voted in to raise prices, but that's what's going to happen. 90% of global trade is going to be affected by these tariffs. There is no clear plan for how to get Americans to buy American cars now. Where did that come from? Where's the legislation for that?
So this is chaos. What is an American-made car when so many foreign manufacturers here and so many parts come from other places? I want to play one other piece of tape from you. It's from a car dealership owner. And the reason why I want to say this is because we are hearing so many descriptions of tariffs. Tariffs are actually going to make you money. Tariffs are going to give you jobs. Tariffs are actually revenues. Here's how the average person hears it who actually sells a car.
And the manufacturers, it's going to cost them more money, and there's no way that I foresee them not passing those costs on to me and ultimately to the consumer.
We are going to pay, both of you with the hands, we are going to pay this. Yeah. How many times can you tell people something else if what they're hearing in their neighborhoods is that we're going to pay this?
I mean, there is so much consensus on this among people who study the economics of tariffs.
So why do they keep trying to spin it?
Because it sounds good, but it's also a misunderstanding of manufacturing in this country. For instance, there is still a lot of manufacturing in this country. There's also just a lot of cross-trade. You know, one small part that gets traded to another country that can build, a bigger part that then comes back to this country for a car part. That's sort of the legacy of globalization, and that's something that you don't hear from sort of anti-globalists in both parties, that it's a global economy and all this stuff works together in one system.
Last word to you, Joel, on this topic.
To use the president's term, this does not pass the common sense test.
Oh, okay. Mic drop. Stay with me, you guys.